Project Hail Mary is Ryan Gosling's newest film, which is based on a book by a gentleman whose name I don't know. I am very sorry. His name is Hubert or something like that. Very cool though, because when I say cinema, stories, characters have a power to create, to inspire, to showcase the best of us, even through the worst lenses in time. And something about sci-fi just knows how to get to the root of the problem, or the root of existence, whatever. Existence. There you go. The root of existence, where you have to start thinking about things on a whole new level. And maybe that's why I like sci-fi, because even though it is fiction, the way we got to these solutions are based on real science. So when you come to us, when the US government, the government of the universe, comes to us and says, listen guy, we got years. Something is happening to the suns in the solar system, and we don't know what's going on. We can't stop it. We don't know what we're facing. So to end up in a middle school where one Ryan Gosling is a teacher is a pool, right? It's almost enough to make you think, why this route? Why not some super secret agent guy, or why not some guy who has like experienced life in a way that only I can understand molecular biology? But no, we find a rejected papers that he submitted were insulted by the very science community that he was a part of. One who has come to terms with just living life as someone who gives, teaching kids. He's good with kids, man. Ryan Gosling just doesn't miss, right? He's such a interesting character that even looking at him as a basic average Joe, you feel for him. Whether that be his wit, his charm, or like his demeanor when he associates with people, when he has this way with people that really early on in the film, you get to see him put it into action. And you can't help but want to root for the guy. So that's number one. We have a beautiful science fiction story of an underdog blasted out into space to do God's work. God's work, however, comes in mysterious ways, as we soon find that we're not the only ones out there. Now, originally, this ship had been commandeered by 3 people: a pilot, an engineer, and a scientist. Way things go. Unfortunately, early on, and very brilliantly done, one is placed into this world, this new situation. And without spoiling too much, because it's a fun little way to approach this story, in my opinion, is that by slowly revealing who this person is, what his motivations are, where he comes from, what he has had to do to prepare for this mission, and the final moments that led him on board are slowly drip fed to you as the film goes. And whether that was in the book or whether that was a cool little move that Apple producers decided to do for this film, I can't help but feel like a proud respect for this sense of restraint. Because normal films would just have you go about it and, explain the story, kind of have you go through his moments, and you would get to the eventual conclusion, and then maybe it would mean something, or it would make sense, or this would be the journey. But the brilliant writing in this allows you to go through the frustrations, to see the moments, and slowly get reminded that, hey, we're doing this for a reason. And that reason, hope, call it what you will. The beauty in bringing a US military and having them really rack their brains about what can we do. We have no idea what to work with. Where do we go from here? To have to really pull at strings to bring out this random ace in the hole that not only proves he has the capacity to think in a new creative format, which elects him to be the chosen one to go out into space and prove himself, but it does it in a very heroic journey way. And if you're very comfortable with literature and how stories are written, the heroic journey isn't, yes, let's go, I'm gonna be the savior of the universe. The true heroic journey comes from rejection. The disassociation of the end goal and where you stand. And the hero's journey is that ascension into what will be his finest moment. But it's very impressive that within all those moments, we're treated to segments of happiness, of sadness, of anxiety, of curiosity, and of course, companionship. Where would we be without the other half of this tale? It's been shown in trailers, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it, but fairly through the story, I wouldn't say early on, but enough for it to actually have importance, we are introduced to an extraterrestrial organism, or whatever you want to call them. And very quickly, you're put in this situation where anything could have happened, right? Any guy could have been like, oh, big ship, blast him. Or any weird mishap if there was someone less rational and accepting of the situation. Middle schoolers are crazy, y'all. That's all I'm saying. So it comes from a very important place that the person that was sent to space or sent to this mission is someone that is able to be open to possibilities, right? It's very analytical in the way that we know the science and it's not looking good, but to still have those results and to just try a different variation in hopes of finding the solution is where that endurance and that perseverance of the hero comes from. And it's cute. It's very cute. You know, you're introduced to this being, and you don't know where it's gonna go unless you've seen the trailer. But it's it's very endearing to see a relationship between two different species begin to bloom, to blossom, right? To begin to be born. And that could not have happened if there wasn't even a sense of empathy, a sense of longing, a need for companionship. because we see what loneliness does to a human in space. But having that and being able to see a glimpse of hope in another being, and having that be the sole drive to say, let's just try to get along. And get along they do. Without getting too into it, the story of Grace and Rocky, the alien that boards that ends up communicating, making first contact with Ryan Gosling, is such a it's something that should not have worked. But through Ryan Gosling's empathy, his acting skills, and through the beautiful portrayal of emotion through sounds and motion, right? Vibration signals, we get the dimensions, like a dimensional character out of a faceless, four-legged rock. Again, that's not an easy feat, and it's even less easier to grow attached to something that doesn't exist. So I just have to really point out that the acting and the way both characters were portrayed is one of the best interactions, period. It's just great, man. There's something to having to work for understanding, and you see the steps and you see the hurdles they had to go through, and you see the small instances of give and take where it's like, I'm gonna trust you, let's be cool, and those little moments end up becoming some of the best that this film has to offer. It really is, and that's incredible, man. Very early on, when this film started playing in movie theaters, and the first time I saw these trailers pop up in cinema, I had a inkling, a feeling, a desire to understand this, right? I just felt like it had something to teach us, and especially with how the universe is feeling, especially where we're at a constant sense of push and pull from the universe, it's very impactful to drop all these plot points, make you go through the emotions of, crap, we are screwed, and still have those two characters push forward. I love space. I don't know if I made that clear. I don't know if the nickname Stitch has anything to made that obvious or has anything to do with that in the future. But seeing the technology, seeing the science fiction, the creativity of a different species and what that could look like, what that kind of life form would be based out of, is genuinely impressive. And to be able to make it as impactful as it was with the material that they had is very, very, very much appreciated. This film is one of the best films I've seen in a cool minute. And that's not because it's like a super sick action film. It's not because there's gunshots. It's not because it's Michael B. Jordan and Sinners, even though I really love that movie for a different reason. Guitar. This film brought everything I was hoping it could do. And more. And really, I have Ryan Gosling to thank for that. Because seeing that dude on screen, just putting a positive ass example of what a very not perfect human, right? But what a responsible adult, what a responsible human, what a understanding man can be. And I really hope people take note of that. I've never watched La La Land, but seeing this really makes me want to watch a lot more of Gosling's flicks. Especially La La Land. Just La La Land. I want to watch La La Land, damn it. I missed out on that and I need to watch it. So it's quite the charm, quite the moment, and I do personally feel that how we wrap things up, how things are portrayed and then played out in later moments was beautiful, well done, obviously, because it's based on a novel that was really regarded as one of a great story. But to see that in motion, to see actors really give it their all, and to feel like we came into this story and we left with something more. Like, not only did we just go to this film to watch something, but we came out of this story learning something, feeling something, and God willing, they caught the pass. So, Project Hail Mary, definitely worth your time, in my humble opinion. Ryan Gosling just completely kills it as a very witty, very funny, very charming character that does not want to have to go through the motions and the struggle, but when he is forced to take up the mantle, he steps up. And he doesn't do it alone. He does it with help from another race, another organism that could have easily gone a terrible way, but it didn't. And because of that, those two crazy kids saved our universe. So, to them, to us, and to the universe, I say, Godspeed. I love you too.